I was listening to Scott Morrison's speech in Brisbane, and let me tell you, it went off. 301 views. I've seen creepy kids who are almost certainly homeschooled on vlogs saying, "Okay, so this is my spotted Australian python. Some people in the comments have been saying it's actually a children's python, and this is for you. And you can take that to the bank." With more views than our Prime Minister. Think about that. The world likes obsessive, friendless children more than they like Scott Morrison. Sometimes I try and picture a more unremarkable looking man in my head, and it's impossible. Maybe Jules from The Chaser, that's it. But you're really scraping the barrel. Anyway, here's the best spin plain amorphous Scott could put on 6 years of Liberal Party governance.
I want to share a story with you. I want to talk about some important things for our country's future today, as we set out on the next 5 weeks and the big decisions that Australians will make in 5 weeks from now. Our economy is stronger, as Josh said in the budget.
Oh no, the Borg has assimilated with Scott Morrison's mind. Scott, do not listen to Josh Frydenborg. I'm pretty sure that man doesn't eat food. He's probably just got a socket on the side of his ribs, and that's why he hates electric cars so much, because they're taking up valuable sockets. The economy is not stronger under the Liberals, and I'll be hammering this from now until the election. Under the Labor Party, we were the best managed economy in the OECD. Now we're the worst. 34th. Can you imagine if the Australian cricket team was 34th? Heads would roll. And Australia has really outperformed any expectations, wrestling a surprising, very narrow, hard-fought victory away from Nepal in the final moments of the match. Those Sherpas' stockiness means their natural girth protects more of the wicket.
Unemployment is lower
than it was under the Labor Party? Yeah, by 1%. But the Labor Party was dealing with a global financial crisis. 6% unemployment was heroic by world standards. Your 5% unemployment is pretty average, just like your face. My government did not have to deal with some of the worst global economic conditions the world has ever seen, and that can only be taken down to the fact that I was praying for good economic conditions. Luck is not made, it's prayed, ladies and gentlemen. That is the only way he could be taking credit for a 5% unemployment rate, if God likes him a lot. To which my counter-argument is, why did he make him look like a bulldog then?
The budget is back in black.
Who told you that? Who's the Liberal Party's accountant? That sausage dog Dragon from the Never-Ending Story. And he's in an AC/DC cover band, and once Scott Morrison just went over and watched him because he's a good mate and saw him sing, "'Cause I'm back in black! 'Cause I'm back in black! Oh!" I'll take that as some financial advice. Because damn, you were not lying when you said you wanted to run a positive campaign. Projecting that there is going to be a surplus a year from now is as optimistic as going to Wet n Wild, getting a chicken burger, and thinking it's not going to taste like a hemorrhoid cushion that Rick Ross used. Sorry, just as a quick side note, how scary is it thinking about Rick Ross's ass? But pretty much what Scott Morrison's assuming with his budget surplus is that the amount of tax that was collected this year by sheer dumb luck that was billions of dollars more than what it should have been will continue on to next year, despite the fact that he's planning to cut $65 billion of tax. So either he's lying, or he's playing 7D chess, and he has access to that dimension where everything can be everywhere and nowhere at once, and concluded, well, if anything's possible, then yeah, back in black. And I think we all know which one's more likely. Don't we?
There are more people working today of working age than at any time in our history.
Yeah, because there's more people in Australia than there has been at any point in our history. How unfair is that? Going back to colonial Sydney and flexing on the 8,000 colonists there. Only 7,000 people working? REKT.
I don't want my children to ever have to live through a recession. But I can tell you, if you stick to the policies of the Liberal and Nationals, then that is the best defence against a recession than you can ever think of.
Well, that was clearly some excellent camera work, but aside from those technical aspects, best defense against a recession. This is coming from the party that didn't want to spend a cent on the global financial crisis. The Liberal Party should change its name from the Liberals anyway, because it confuses Americans too much. But on top of that, just a better fitting name for their ideology would be the Party of Buddhist Monks, because their answer to any economic problem, housing crisis, the global financial crisis, their answer is exactly the same every time: to do nothing. Well, guess what? According to every esteemed global economist, including those that have won Nobel Prizes in economics, and our own Department of Treasury, if we did what the Liberals wanted to, which was the best way to avoid suffering is to accept things as they are. If we did that, we would be in a recession. Strike one. The West Australian Liberals put the West Australian economy into a recession after the biggest mining boom in world history. Strike two. The Liberals, under John Howard, halved the capital gains tax, which is why we see this extremely skewed property market at the moment, where 20% of our nation's money is in housing. Do you know how much money that is? That's more money than Kyle Sandilands has. And that man has a picture of his face at the bottom of a pool that is inside his house. So I can think of something a little better than the Coalition's policies as a deterrent for recessions. Anything. Making their next Prime Minister the emu from Hey Hey It's Saturday because he can't speak English and therefore can't execute orders to the rest of the Coalition. I mean, do I need to say any more? Look at this man's face. It's obvious he sucks. He shouldn't be running a country. He should be a guest commentator in the NRL for when the Sharks play. He's already mastered Rabbit's commentary style.
And it's my goal to get that down net debt to zero over the next decade.
So don't fall for Scott Morrison's very misleading data. It is obvious that it is cherry-picked from the fact that he has to use stats like more people are working now than they were in 1850. He doesn't have a good economic story to tell. I can pick it apart. I failed Italian in uni. Look it up for yourself. Look at what global economists think about the Liberal Party of Australia. Because a lot of them are Swedish, so I'm just assuming that they're pretty much just old PewDiePies. They all say the same thing. Skip-to-dip. Okay, so, oh my god, this is so cringe. The Liberals have done another oopsie, folks. So if you like this video, return the favor by conveying the most extreme human emotion Scott Morrison is capable of conveying. Like it. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. And I'll see you on Friday, where we'll be picking the limo juste. The creme de la creme of attack ads. They're pretty much exactly the same as the ones in the New South Wales election. I thought they'd step up the budget. Apparently not. I'd even argue that federal Labors are shitter.
Please share and comment below. Comment.